Episode 1: The Hidden Cost of Manipulation. Manipulation is one of those things that's easy to feel, but hard to name, especially when it comes from someone close to you. It's not always shouting threats or obvious control. In fact, it often wears a smile. It can sound like concern, like reason, even like love. At its core, manipulation is when someone tries to steer your thoughts, emotions, or actions, not by honest conversation, but by subtly pushing your feelings like buttons. They may use guilt. They might twist facts. They might make you question your own memory or intentions. And the result is almost always the same. You end up feeling smaller, more doubtful, and less certain of yourself than when the conversation began. Why it's so hard to see in the moment. The tricky thing about manipulation is that it often works best when it's quiet and indirect. You might notice you're re-explaining yourself over and over, trying to prove you're not wrong. You might leave a conversation feeling heavy or unsettled, but you can't point to a single sentence that was clearly harmful. Sometimes it's not the words themselves, it's the undertone. And that's what makes it so costly. Not just because of the momentary discomfort, but because over time, manipulation chips away at the most precious thing you own, your trust in yourself. The emotional cost. Think of manipulation like a slow leak in your confidence. It doesn't usually drain you all at once. It just keeps letting a little air out until one day you realize you're running on flat tires. Some of the hidden costs include constant self-doubt. You question whether your feelings are valid or if you're overreacting. Walking on eggshells. You start to anticipate their reactions and change yourself to avoid conflict. Guilt that isn't yours. You feel bad for things that aren't actually wrong just because they imply you should. Loss of voice. You stop expressing certain thoughts or opinions because it feels safer to stay quiet. The subtle signs you're being manipulated. Here are a few patterns to pay attention to. Not to label people immediately, but to notice when something might not be healthy. You leave feeling smaller. Conversations leave you shrinking inward instead of feeling understood. Your reactions are used against you. They focus on how you said something instead of what you said. Shifting goalposts. You meet their expectations, but the target keeps moving. Selective memory. Events are remembered in a way that benefits them and undermines you. If you're experiencing more than one of these regularly, it's worth asking, am I being influenced or pressured in a way that's making me lose myself? It's not about becoming suspicious of everyone. The goal isn't to walk away from this thinking, everyone's out to manipulate me. Instead, it's about learning to recognize when your clarity is being clouded on purpose. Healthy relationships, whether with family, friends, or partners, can have disagreements, but they also have a space for honesty. You can feel safe saying, "I don't agree," without worrying about being guilted, shamed, or made to feel small. Manipulation removes that safety, and when you live in it for too long, you might start to think that's just how relationships are. The core message. If you're always second-guessing yourself around someone, if you walk away from conversations confused instead of clear, if your stomach knots before you can even see their name pop up on your phone, it might not be that you're too sensitive. It might not be that you can't handle criticism. It might be manipulation. And once you can see it, you can begin to decide how much space it gets in your life. Where we go from here. This is the first in a series of conversations we'll have about manipulation, what it looks like, how to respond, and how to rebuild your confidence after you've been on the receiving end. For now, remember, your feelings are valid even when someone tries to talk you out of them. And the more you trust that inner knowing, the harder it becomes for anyone to take it away from you. If this reflection brought you a moment of peace or insight, please consider liking the video and subscribing to Purely Voiced. Your support helps this space grow and reach more hearts that need it.